in this video we are going to look at how you can use a mask to separate an object from its background. This will do this in a way that's not permanent. That's kind of the best thing about this. If I accidentally remove part of the fish, I can go back a week from now and fix it. If I were to just delete the background, it's gone forever and I can't ever adjust that again. There's a plenty of other uses for masks. This is just one that we're going to do, is to kind of just separate things from the background. So first let's look at kind of like what a mask is. Let's rename this thing. Now let's go ahead and put a mask. So I'm in my layers window here. I'm going to put a mask on this object. Now we're going to do this a little differently, but right now I just want to show you what a mask is. So what we have is it adds this little piece in here. This is the mask. Wherever the mask is white, the picture shows through. So if I hold Option and click on the mask, I can see where the mask is. So again, the whole screen is white. That means that all of this picture of the fish will show up. So let's go and use our paintbrush, and let's just try painting black onto our mask. So I'm going to isolate the mask again so you can see what I'm doing. Let's paint a piece of this black. So as I paint this black, now I go back into the picture. You can see what's happening. That part of the picture where the mask is black no longer shows up. Again, I'm going to click on the mask this time, but I'm not going to isolate the mask. I'm just going to have the mask be the thing that's selected. And the way I can tell what's selected is there's little kind of marks outside the corners here. That's telling me that this is the part that's selected, and I can again keep painting. So I don't have to isolate the mask to see this. But if I isolate it now, again, you can kind of see I'm painting more black onto the mask. So let's jump out of that again. Something you have to watch is that if you go to add black to the mask, watch that you're not on the layer itself, because look at what happens when I do this. I'm actually painting the picture black instead of adjusting the mask. So that's not something we want to do. So let's look at other ways that we can adjust this mask. I could have a selection. So say I had part of this thing selected and I want to fill this chunk of my screen with black on the mask. I'm on the mask. I can simply go to Edit, Fill. For Use, I can pick black, hit OK. And again, what that just did is that filled that chunk of the mask with black. And again, eliminating this picture. Now let's say I decide later I need to bring this stuff back. Again, I can go to the mask. I can paint white with my paintbrush, and that brings this back. Again, that's the advantages to masks, are that they're adjustable. You're not completely deleting the pixels. We're just hiding the pixels that we don't want to see. So I can keep making these adjustments. So another way that we can do this, a little bit easier way here. So let's delete this mask. So we're back to kind of the beginning. I'm going to make a selection of the object I want, the fish. So I have the outline of this selected. If you have a selection, when you create a mask, instead of the mask being totally white, it automatically makes it so that the mask is white where your selection was, the rest is black. Again, black shows up as clear. Black eliminates that part of this picture. And that is how we can kind of cut this thing off of its background. So again, all I did, selected the fish. I'll run through this one more time. Selected the fish, added a mask. Now sometimes it is easier to get rid of that selection. Sometimes it's easier to select the background. This isn't really the case with this picture, but let's say that it was. I'm going to just keep painting around here, and I'm going to try to get all of this blue without getting any of the fish. So there we go. So now I have everything but the fish selected. If I add a mask now, it's going to do the opposite of what I want. I lose the fish, but keep the background. So what I'm going to do is when I select the background, if that's the easier thing to select, I'm going to go select inverse, meaning opposite. Now the fish is selected instead of the background. And if I hit the mask button, again, I'm back to where I want to be. So you can either select the object or the background. If you select the background, you got to do select inverse. Then you simply hit the mask button and you are good to go. So that's how you can use a mask to eliminate or hide the background in a layer.